Born from the ashes. 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 Born from the. Watch me rain.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the first week of the newest edition of the NA Team League Rumble. On the right side of the Golden Wall, for Archangel Gaming North America, it's the red Protoss, Marsman. It's on the left, as the blue Protoss, representing Kosmos Esports, it's Peely. You guys have heard of the War Chest Team League, which is, run by a bunch of casters, things like that. No, you know what? I'm co-owner of one of the teams competing. I'm here rooting for Kosmos and Archangel and casting their game, because that's what community is about. That's what the game of StarCraft is about. All these North American teams getting together, competing for a pretty big prize pool. There's honor, glory, and fame to be won over the next several weeks as we go through the group stage, and eventually some of these teams will reach the playoffs. The top 4 out of 6 teams are getting paid out. It's really awesome of, primarily Alpha X putting this together, so thank you to them. If you guys need to fill time in between the games tonight, usually I'd put up Stream Raiders or something to try and fill time, but none of that nonsense tonight. You can check out the main stream over at twitch.tv/Creighton Olsen, who is going to be casting the other 2 matches tonight. So, a little bit about the format. It is a best of 7. Okay, well, we should probably remark on the proxy robo. Remember when they added shield battery overcharge to remove this from ladder? I remember, but it seems like every other game is still a proxy robo. Peely getting a Stargate. So, maybe going to produce a Void Ray first to deal with this, but more likely a Phoenix to get a lift on the Immortal. He's not going to bother messing around with this. He doesn't want his Stalkers to get caught out. He's going to cancel the Pylon to let the Stalkers back in the main, shut down the Scouting Probe. So, these are going to be best of 7 Pro League matches. That means the first team to get 4 points is going to take the match and the win for that week, putting them a little higher up in the seeding for the playoffs, if they can make the playoffs at all, which, I mean, if you're getting a win, it's a good start. Week 1 is always important in any team league to increase the morale of your team. It kind of sets the pace for the rest of the season. Oracle heads into the main of Marsman. Shield Battery is going to make sure this does absolutely nothing. Pretty much. I mean, okay, sure, we saw a probe kill, but so much Oracle energy has been utilized. Instead of seeing 6 or 7 probes die, we saw all of 2. This heroic Shield Battery holding down the fort from Marsman. And I said, we should see a Phoenix, we should see a Void Ray, and we do see that Void Ray here in the defense. It can turn on that charge beam and melt armored units like this Immortal is. That's going to be its primary target, but also to help with the Stalkers. Peely getting brave. He wants to take a second Nexus. He's going to push out. Cancels the Shade. Observer kill from Peely Peely. It's not the most expensive unit to lose for Marsman, but Marsman's position is going to get overrun. Peely Peely has too much at this point. If Marsman isn't careful, the Obs is going to see this. Peely Peely isn't pushing out. Cancel on the shade from Peely Peely. This is an awkward Protoss versus Protoss. It usually doesn't go like this. When one player opens Stargate, the other opens with a proxy robo. We haven't seen any utilization of this to attack Peely Peely at all, whatsoever. Marsman is just passively sieging this base, kind of, sort of. It's more just camping at the gold base. He's like camping, like in CSGO. Like, he's just sitting here waiting for Peely Peely to round the corner. But Peely Peely actually has an army supply advantage. Should see a Void Ray target on the Prism if this engagement starts. It's not going to, though. A Marsman has researched Blink. It is complete. He blinks across the wall. Okay, so what he should be doing is moving the Prism up to here, getting high ground vision, and blinking into the main of Peely Peely. Oh! A target on the Immortal. It wasn't in the Guardian Shell, so it took the full brunt of those Stalker shots. Shield Battery Overcharge is dropped, but most of these units not fighting within range of the Shield Battery. However, Marsman loses his Immortals. Some of the Stalkers just kind of stuttering, not fighting. The Prism goes down. Peely Peely's turned this engagement around. He has one Immortal remaining and the Void Ray in the air. This is too much. All Marsman can do is wait for that Blink to get off cooldown and get the heck out of here. He's running for his life. Only 6 Stalkers left, and he will escape, but it's not going to be enough. GG! Peely Peely takes the first point in the season for Kosmos Esports. In the bottom left of Everdream, as the blue Protoss, for Kosmos Esports, it's Peely Peely. And in the top right, as the red Zerg, for Archangel Gaming North America, it's Panda Bear Me. Kosmos scored the first point. Peely Peely going for a little Scout Reno. Panda Bear Me. The hatch gas pool. I like how the little thingies on the side of the probe pop out when it starts mining. See if it does it again. Yeah, satisfying. Peely opens standard gate Nexus Cyber. Second Adept coming out for Peely. Panda with some defensive Zerglings, gonna chase the probe away. Oracle next from Peely. And this has gone unscouted by Panda Bear Me. This is not good. That Overlord needs to be moving now. Now, he can anticipate the Stargate from the Adept Opener, but that's really flimsy evidence. 4 drones are picked off. 5. Third gateway for Peely. Robotics facility in the wall. Second pylon, shield battery. Oh, this should be a complete wall. Okay. Peely microing his macro. And this is actually damage to Panda Bear Meat. Peely isn't going to lose anything else. He's going to be able to cancel this. And all those Zerglings could have been drones. Every single one of them. Panda with a Baneling nest and an Evo chamber. He's getting defensive spores up. Huh. Peely gets a Phoenix. What happened to the Oracle? I swear he... There it is. Okay, 4 drone kills. Caster, fail! It's number 1 of the night. They're getting fewer and fewer every time. Kill on the Overlord. Looks like Peely may get a second Overlord kill as well. Panda doesn't know... I mean... He saw the second tech building. But this could really be a lot of things. It could be Colossi, it could be Disruptors. Now, the information that Panda Bear Me is using is, okay, I know that there's a robotics facility. I know that there's a Stargate. That means I don't think he can afford a robotics bay and a Disruptor and a Prism to attack me anytime soon. I don't think he's going to have a Twilight to get Resonating Glaives. He checks with Lings at the front, he sees the Masked Sentry, and he can go confidently, okay, it's going to be Sentry, well, Immortal Sentry, backed up by either Stalkers or Adepts, whatever composition Peely wants to do. Peely goes out on the map to attack, but he's facing a Ling Flood by Panda Bear Me. He seems undeterred. He's not going to recall to deal with this, and that means he will lose his third Nexus. Peely moves up the ramp, takes out an Overlord. Force Shield on the ramp to prevent any reinforcements. Ooh! But a great Baneling hit kills 3 sentries. I don't think it's going to be enough for Panda Bear Me to defend. He already lost a dozen workers, and things are only going to get worse. A Stutter Step up the ramp. There is energy for Force Shields, so as soon as Peely evacuates up the ramp, Well, he cut his losses and lost a couple sentries, lost a couple stalkers to the spines, to the banelings on the low ground, but there's actually nothing that Panda Bear Me can do to save the main. He does have a lair, so he could do something crazy, like go for Dropper Lords or something, but he just doesn't have enough. GG. Peely Peely. Empire, as the yellow Protoss, playing for Kosmos Esports. 2 points on the board, it's Maples. And in the top right, as the blue Zerg, for Archangel Gaming. Welcome back, Panda Bear Me. Back-to-back Panda Bear Me's. He's got the bear paw outside of his hatchery. So you can see the map clipping through it a little bit. Shout out to the 10th anniversary of StarCraft 2. A major patch was just released. It was a very quick turnaround between the announcement and the actual patch hitting. Ooh, Cuckoo! Hey! Thanks for the follow, man. I'm a huge fan of your play. Second Nexus for Maples. Panda. For standard hatch gas pool. But, yeah, new improvements to the editor. You'll hear in the background the countdown timer they added to the game, which is great for someone like me, who, for some reason, my computer just, like, always misses the first 2 seconds of a game. So now I just never miss those first 2 seconds, because there's a countdown timer. New co-op commander prestiges. New achievements for every single campaign mission, including Nova Covert Ops. My friend Kugel went on an Odyssey a while back to complete every campaign achievement. And I was like, bro, there's 84 new ones. He's like, oh god, oh no. Because he's got to do them all now, right? Like, you can't just not have all the campaign achievements and then not complete them. But if you do, get a White Raw announcer. So that's really, really cool. Totally for free. Or, excuse me. You get a White Raw announcer for logging in during the 10th anniversary. You get a... It's a ghost announcer? I forget his name, though, for completing all the campaign achievements. But, enough about that. Maples has gone for an early Twilight Council. This could be the Korean style, where he goes to Resonating Glaives, or it could be the classic Dark Templar. Panda Bear Me opened very standard. He got his third down on time. Nothing remarkable. Just chasing around the Adept with the Lynx. Thanks so much for the follow, Range 777. Thanks for the follow, NYK. Lings, take out the Adept with minimal losses. That's going to limit Maples' scouting. Maples doesn't want to come under attack, so he's going to drop a safety shield battery. We might even see a cancel on that, but probably not. He'll probably leave that to stop later Ling run-bys. Okay, it's going to be Glaives into DTs, and this is promptly scouted by Panda Bear Me. Maples is like, alright, well, I'm not going to be able to stop the scouting, might as well just go for it. It could also be a fake Dark Shrine, but I don't think that's very likely. In the meantime, Panda gets his standard Roach timing, and the stage is pretty much set for the rest of the game, or at least the mid-game. Panda Bear Me is going to get out the Prism, probably load it up with around 4 Adepts. He'll warp in at those 2 gateways. The other 2 warp gates will finish. He'll fly the Adepts out in the Prism, get a warp in going. As Glaives finishes, try to get damage done. Yeah, it's a fake Dark Shrine. Okay. So, he didn't load into the Prism. Okay, he's gonna delay the attack for a couple of seconds to take care of the Overlord. Stalker barely able to pick it off. And this is going to be a more heavy adept attack. Now, Maples can launch a concerted all-in off of 2 bases. He's throwing down 2 more gateways, so that's seeming a little more likely. And try to split adepts off into the net, split them into the main, continuously kill the Zerglings of Panda Bear Me, isolate Roaches, isolate Queens, but continue shaving health off the 3rd hatchery, and eventually try to get a kill on that 3rd hatch once he gets an insane amount of adepts. The other way he can play this is kind of like half-ass the attack, keep Panda Bear Me at home, and drop an expansion behind it. We do see an Immortal in production back home for Maples, so it seems like it might be the second build. Maples is going to send the Shade into the main as the Adepts kind of sit here. He's going to stutter step into the lower count of Roaches. He doesn't finish the Shade. Actually, the recall's forced. But interestingly enough, Maples did not drop a 3rd Nexus behind this. You can see that he definitely has the money, 700 resources, and he doesn't have 7 Warp Gates, so, like, he can afford that Nexus quite easily and still continue production. Just trying to keep the Roaches back at the Zerg base with the Prism drop. Beautiful force fields, cut down the lanes. That's going to make Maples feel secure. But the question I keep asking is, where is the 3rd Nexus? Is he really going to all in off of 2 bases at this point? Because I feel very strongly that Maples can drop a 3rd and keep this pressure up. Like, he can have both. He can have his cake, he can eat it too, and he can watch Netflix while he's doing it. Cancels the 4th. But at this point, Maples needs to kill drones. He needs to kill the 3rd. He needs to do something. If he doesn't, then Panda Bear Me is just going to be too far ahead in economy. He's easily going to re-expand, and then he's going to max out on Roach Ravager and crush Maples. Maples should finish the Shade. He does. That's going to pull back the bulk of Panda Bear Me's army. He's not going after the 3rd, though. Okay, he is, kind of. No, he's indecisive. He targets an Overlord, doesn't kill it. He targets the Roaches. He's going to force field. The Ravagers aren't going to bile it. They're going to save the biles for the main army. It takes 3 biles to kill a Prism. That may be what it's for. Okay, he triggers more force fields. This is the final wave of force fields from the sentries. They're all out of energy. Stutter step forward on the Roaches. A lot of those sentries are getting picked off, and there's not a lot of meat left to this army. The Immortal is going to hold with the Guardian Shells, and it has a lot of utility with the Prism, but it's not enough. G is called. Panda Bear Me puts the first point on the board for Arc. Top right corner of Ice and Chrome. As the Blue Terran, it's Cuckoo as C2, playing for Kosmos. And in the bottom left, as the Red Protoss, for Archangel Gaming North America, it's Marsman. A 2-1 lead for Kosmos. Panda Bear Me getting the first point on the board for Archangel. We have a series, and it's not going to be a clean sweep by Kosmos. Simulator pylon for Marsman. Just very... Just Protoss versus Terran stuff. Okay, so Marsman is winning the battle of the workers. This is a good start. It's causing mayhem. Cuckoo has to pull additional SCVs to make sure his CC finishes. I don't know why he's backing out like this. Is he going to drop a proxy? Because he was totally winning there. He doesn't want to get found by the Reaper. That's right. I always forget about those pesky little critters. They're all hepped up on Terrazine, just breathing their own fumes, running around with 2 pistols. It's like the American Midwest. I was like, should I say this joke or not? Yeah, I'm gonna say that joke. Okay. Yeah, Reaper's gonna be chased off by the Adept. Now, this is trouble for Cuckoo, because he has not gotten any scouting. One of the primary purposes of this Reaper is to get scouting. What Marsman is trying to do is get one shot off on this worker so the CC doesn't finish. He does arrive late thanks to the efforts of the Reaper. And that is value that Cuckoo was able to finish the command center pretty much on time, but the denied scouting is... It cannot be overstated how bad that is for the Terran. So the Blink research is totally unscouted for now. I love this positioning on the Twilight Council. Usually you see the Protoss try to wall off the Reaper jump spot. Not so with Marsman. He's hiding it in the corner. He's hoping that a scan goes down here, or goes down here, or goes down, like, I don't know why you do it, but here. And this is going to, at the very least, force Cuckoo to burn a second scan. Cuckoo going in with 2 Hellions and a Reaper. Probably going to send the Hellions in the front to make the Stalkers respect it, and then jump the Reaper into the main. He's got to get scouting done. Blink is halfway complete. Yep, that's exactly what he's not sending in the Hellions. Okay, so I guess he's going to send the Reaper into the main, get the scouting, pull the Stalkers out of the wall, and he does see the Twilight with Blink chrono boosted. But that chrono boost means Blink is going to be finishing sooner than you think. He loses the Reaper. And now he has to figure out how he's going to defend this aggression from Marsman. He's going into an armory. Okay, it's a quadruple Widowmine drop with the armory behind it. Now, that means these are permacloak mines. So, I think the plan here from Cuckoo is to drop the mines. They'll fire their shots, they'll still be invisible, and it should, in theory, keep Marsman at home for a little while. But Marsman does have an observer. Cuckoo poking in, maybe trying to pull the Stalkers out of position. Robo Bay for Marsman. Both Hellions get gunned down. This is a great start for Marsman. He blinks on the medevac, half the health is gone, but these Widowmines now own this area. He allows all 3 shots to go off on the probes. 4 of them go down. Marsman's like, wait a minute, I can't see them. Where'd they go? Just getting out another OBS. Cuckoo, the medevac threatening with 3 more mines on the right side. Marsman cleans up the Widowmines. "11 probes picked off by the Widowmines, and they're gonna get out, and the medevac has full health. Shield battery, not great against instantaneous anti-worker bombs. Can't heal a unit that's already dead. It's true for life as well as StarCraft. Rip. Cuckoo is switching out of mines, going into tanks, and full-on bio production. Other 2 barracks are going to solidify that, so he's up to 5 racks starport factory. Reactor on the starport probably means additional medevac production is going to ramp up shortly. Salvage on the bunker in the main. He's no longer afraid of blink play. Marsman never did go for that blink attack. He's instead going into Colossi. The Widow Mines serve their purpose, keeping these guys at home, but Marsman knows Cuckoo wants to take a third, even though his obs was picked off. Perhaps even because his observer was picked off, he's like, alright, he's trying to pull something. Marsman sends out the observer first to see if he wants to take this engagement. Cuckoo splits off a Marine. Yeah, it found exactly what Cuckoo was worried about, which is a mob of blink stalkers. Third command center in production. You saw for a brief second the wireframe of Cuckoo thinking about making a fourth command center. Excuse me, he's building a fourth command center, thinking about taking a fifth command center, but he opted to just go for this one, more towards the natural. Getting another factory. Marsman continuing Colossi production. Very passive game on the part of the Protoss. Templar Archives going down for him as well. Ghost Academy for Cuckoo to get out those sweet, sweet EMPs. Okay, Marsman is sighted on the radar. Cuckoo's like, blip, 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 if this was a submarine radar. And the Marines are like, oh shoot, enemy encountered. Siege tanks are sieged. The bio is split. Marsman's gonna take down the rocks. There's no supply depot forest to limit the effectiveness of charge lots. A drop against the 4th of Marsman is going to soften it up. Is he going to get the kill? He gets the cancel. At the cost of the medevac, but I definitely think that was worth it from Cuckoo. Despite the lack of scouting in the early game, Cuckoo has handled this map masterfully, in my humble opinion, and is in the lead. Up 7 workers. Of course, the Terran has mules, or has mules in addition to that, so even farther ahead. And 6 army supply in the lead as well. These ghosts have a lot of energy. It looks like the Protoss army could maybe handle this at first glance until you realize there's instantly going to be EMPs down. We could see snipes on the High Templar. A lot of key units could go down. The tanks are going to be dishing out splash damage, and then you're like, oh, well, actually, the Protoss attacking into the Terran would be a really, really, really terrible idea. So Marsman, good enough player to acknowledge that, pulls home, and he is going to be the defender for our major maxed out engagement. Cuckoo splits off a medevac. He's going to drop at the 4th again. He is killing these units one by one. The Marines are running out of gas, but they should actually win. High Templar trying to defend with his auto attack. Shield battery overcharge is dropped as soon as the Nexus finishes, but that means it's not going to be a tool in the defense of this base. Actually, Marsman doesn't have any shield batteries. The Ghost Squad moves forward. They're going to EMP. All the shields are gone. Some of the bio splits off to deal with the Nexus. And they get the kill. Marsman comes in from behind. Still only from one angle, though. More EMPs are dropped. 2 ghosts left. There are 3 high temps still in the mix for Marsman. Storm is in play, but we haven't seen Storm. Cuckoo claims the Zelnaga. That was a key part of Marsman's decision-making there. He had Zealots on the tower, so he was able to see in an arc back to here. And that meant a lot of Cuckoo's bio was in vision. And, ooh, a ghost gets picked off. These guys are kind of overstimmed to be dealing with 3 Colossus, but here come the reinforcements from behind, and Marsman is totally trapped. He's fighting his way out on the left, but he can't deal with the rest of his army. He tries to engage it, and that was a mistake. He's going to lose the Colossi for it, and just a handful of Stalkers are going to make it out for Marsman. Now, Cuckoo has a massive economy. He can afford to replace all the units that he lost in this engagement, You saw, this was the reinforcement wave. These guys were not retreating from the front, and they were able to handle the entirety of the Protoss army on their own. The next attack from Cuckoo, once he gets remaxed, is going to be even harder for Marsman to hold. Now, Marsman is going into Disruptors. I really like this, because Marsman is playing from way behind his opponent. When you have a Disruptor, it's very high risk, high reward. If you get the shot off, it can deal insane amounts of damage to the Terran very quickly and help you tear through your opponent's economic advantage that they are translating into units. You want that kind of asymmetrical warfare as any race when you're playing from behind. You want to start training energy, you want to start training spells against your opponent's minerals and gas, because you just don't have as much minerals, you don't have as much gas. So that's what Marsman is going for here. Marsman at +2 attack, +2 armor. Cuckoo. Okay, 4 SCVs went down to that. Cuckoo sweeping around the top of the map. Going to get a cancel on that fresh Nexus, and this location is in danger once again. Marsman is very slow to respond. He's not going to recall up here. Cuckoo also taking his time pre-splitting, though. A Disruptor gets too overambitious, picked off before the Nova could complete. Those are okay storms from Marsman, but he just doesn't have enough. GG is called. Cuckoo puts a 3rd point on the board for Kosmos. In the bottom right corner of Death Aura as the Blue Terran. And the last hope of Archangel Gaming North America, it's Kelliger in the top left, trying to seal the deal for Kosmos Esports. It's Eggs. Eggs is going for a hatch first. Now, so I want to note, just so everyone's on the up and up, if you're a pro player watching or whatever, we are aware of, okay, Killers are opening with 2 racks at the front. This is definitely not standard. He's going to shut down Overlord scouting for whatever reason, most likely. Although we do see the gas, so it could be 2 racks Reaper. We'll have to wait and see. There's a 3rd racks. Okay. Alright, things just got interesting, but before things really kick off, we're going to note that there is a command center glitch where you can make your command center invisible. We are fully aware of it, and it is banned from play, so if for whatever reason we end up in a weird situation and Kellizer decides to hide his command center so that it's unkillable and he forces a draw, that victory will go to Eggs. Gildolin, I do not get to cast RNG Pro. That will be hosted on Creighton Olsen's channel. We'll raid him immediately after this match. Melee started on the Evo chamber for Eggs. Triple pumping Reapers is Kelliger. Here's the first one. So there's going to be a very delicate balance. It's going to be The Reapers of Kelazur trying to kill as many Lings as possible. Every Zergling death is huge. Every Reaper death is huge. Even damage to the Reapers as they have to back up. But what both players are looking for is critical mass. Okay, do I kill enough Reapers that I now have critical mass? And Kelazur is going, do I kill enough Zerglings that I have critical mass? These Zerglings are going to get a significant power boost once speed is done, but also once melee is done. This melee will do terrible things to the Reapers! One of them goes down! If you think about it, it's like losing 20% of your army. So think we're at like 150 versus 150 supply. Oh god, don't do math on stream, kids. Never do math. Okay, 100 versus 100 supply and 20 supply where the units die. Okay? Yeah, this is scaling toward the beginning of the game. I feel like a lot of the times casters don't express well enough how big early game worker damage or early game army damage can be. So Eggs has a firm lead going into this. He's calmly waiting at the top of the Reaper jump for that melee to finish, force feed to finish. These are massively powered Zerglings right now. They're probably going to poke out. No, he's going to bide his time even more. The patience from Eggs is unreal. He's getting a Baneling Nest, so he's going to bust the Terran. Kelazur does not have a bunker at the front or in the main. He's going for a third command center before his second is even finished. And he's continuing Reaper production. Eggs is doing the best micro he can. He's doing great micro, actually. He's considerably thinned the herd of Zerglings, but the Zerglings are just going to run away. They are faster than Reapers at this point, and these guys are going through the ridiculous speed zones. Eggs goes off to the left so he can safely morph Banelings. The Reapers are hunting for these guys. The Zergling count is severely lowered while these forever, but, you know, the power curve is in Kelazur's favor for a brief moment as these Banelings morph in. He needs to find them, he needs to kite them down. He's going on the attack instead. I mean, this can work, there are spines to defend, but the Reapers are in great enough numbers that they can deal damage. This supply depot is the weak spot in the wall. There's nothing behind the wall to shoot. It's going to be one Marine, and he's not even going to kill a single Baneling before this bust goes through. There is a second layer of defense in the main, but no production up there to help out. Okay, there's only 2 Banelings left. One of them crashes into the SCVs. 8 SCVs in damage. Oh no, the Reapers didn't commit to the attack! They're gonna go home! This is probably the worst thing that that Kelazur could have done, given the situation Eggs is in. Okay. No, the Banelings need to go up and kill the supply depots! Oh my god. Okay. Eggs is trying to go after the Reapers. If he can corner them, if he can connect kills, this will be great. The Reapers drop a grenade and toss themselves out of the mix of the Zerglings, and they're actually going to win the fight. Eggs loses equilibrium. Kelazur not ahead in army supply, but these Lings are much less value than the Reapers and the Marines, especially hiding behind a wall. Kelazur has not resealed that wall, but he did kill all the Zerglings again, so he's going to be fine for now. And Stim was not cancelled. The barracks was not finished. Eggs was way too indecisive during that engagement. Kelazur was indecisive, pulling back home to defend. But once he got there, he's like, okay, we're going to defend. We're not going to turn around again. He was able to secure himself. Kelazur, up 8 workers at this point. Eggs needs to find damage. He needs more than 3 Banelings to break this as well. Kelazur is going on the hunt. He finds the Zerglings. The Banelings are finished. Oh god, Kelazur's micro is keeping him in this game. Three out of 6 Banelings are killed. Eggs tries to flank and surround. Well-placed Reaper grenades from Kelazur save some of his Reapers. Others go down. These guys are very low health. They need to get some healing off. One of them goes... Oh, the Lings didn't commit! They were in on the supply depot. There were 2 Banelings, but I guess Eggs made the calculation that they were too far out to connect with the Marines, or that Kelazur would have gunned down the Banelings. I see the anime e-girl Bang saying, "Oh, you're not casting my games." Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'll be in the chat rooting for you, I promise. Things, after a blistering 8 minutes of non-stop action, things have calmed down. I mean, 3 Reaper hit squad moves in to try and find some drone damage. They probably will, actually, with just the Queens and the Spine to defend. The Spine can only hit out to around here. Those Reapers are going to hit in the back. GG is called, actually. I don't... Wait, why did he tap out? I guess he didn't want a macro. There wasn't really anything going on. Okay. So, GG's called. Collision. In the top left of Submarine, as the pink Zerg, it's NYK. In the bottom right, as the blue Terran. For Archangel, it's Dolan. Kosmos still has Archangel to match point, but one more win will seal the deal and end the match if NYK can pull it off. NYK, very strong, very aggressive Zerg. I think he's strongest in the mid game, but we'll see what he does. He should be going aggressive against the Terran by the 9-minute mark at the latest, because Submarine is a very short map with a very short rush distance. It's basically the Zen of this map pool, except good. Did I say that? Did that word come out of my mouth? I think it did. So, Dolan, Master Dolan, you are a bold one, taking on a Zerg on Submarine. At least he's not Protoss. Protoss facing Zerg on Submarine is just suicide for the Protoss, unless there's a major skill gap. Dolan starts his second command center. NYK finishing his second hatchery. NYK scouts the Reaper. Forlings come to meet it for Spore Crawler. Drone kill. Okay, this is value Reaper as long as it lives, and it will live. NYK did take a third, perfectly on time. Dolan gets out with the Reaper again. Didn't pick off any Lings though. And I think Dolan won a very slight advantage in the early game with his Force Spore, with his drone kill. He's going to try to get the Creep Tumor. No, he's not. He's going to hop into the main. Ling's already on top of things. A little bit too slow to stop the Reaper from scouting the main and seeing that absolutely nothing is happening. But he did see something very critical, which is one drone on gas. That means nothing weird's happening. There's not going to be, an early lair. There's not going to be a roach push. Even though he didn't see the warn, even though he didn't see a lair morphing, the Zerg can always just pick a different base to morph the lair, or throw down the Warren in a weird place. So that's going to make Dolan feel a lot more secure. Viking picks off one of the Overlords, Marine, patrolling on the side of the base to make absolutely sure there's no scouting. 3 racks and a starport, with the factory producing a tank, tell me that Dolan is going to go for a 2-base push, probably around the 7.5 minute mark. There's also a rather low Hellion count, so only 3 Hellions in the Reaper doing anything, and there's not going to be more Hellions because this factory has swapped off the reactor. Now, this 3rd barracks is going to land on the reactor, probably. Starport's going to build a new one and begin producing medevacs, and that's where Dolan's going to be comfortable going for this mid-game push. +1 weapons on the engineering bay. Ooh! Lings catch out one of the Hellions, catch the Reaper. It's going to limit Dolan's map control until this push takes off. And creep is going to spread a lot farther than it otherwise would have. We probably would have seen a scan from Dolan and a couple tumors go down, at least, before the loss of the Hellion, before the loss of the Reaper. 1 Hellion, even if he, like, I don't think he's gonna bother with a scan. I think he's just got to go for the push now. But NYK is going to have a lot more creep to spot the angle. The push is coming in. The tanks are going to have to siege farther back. And it's just, you know, a very small advantage NYK has going into this engagement. So NYK is going for a Spire play. That's going to weaken his defense a mite bit.
Meow.
Dastan, thank you so much for the follow. 6 Lings go down to the stutter-stepping Marines. Dolan's, like, he's got to go. Like, he doesn't have a 3rd command center yet. He started it up, but he needs to, at the very least, clear creep. Okay, he's going to do so now. NYK has plenty of time before the creep recedes, though, to get the Banelings in. He moves the Banelings into the tank, but he pulls them back. He's going to take a couple retreating shots. He morphs some of the Banelings in next to the Marines, so 5 will get picked off. 6, 7 before they morph. 8, 9. It's a lot of dead Banelings for free. And now the creep has receded almost entirely. So there's not going to be any speed bonus engaging the Marines out at their current location. And Dolan's going to feel emboldened to keep pushing in. You'll notice he hasn't rallied reinforcements forward. He is stacking them at the wall to deal with any Ling run-bys because he knows how much pressure he's putting on NYK. Right now, there's no Zergling meat shield for these Banelings to engage the Marines, and there's no ability to flank. Well, there is kind of. The Queens could go in and take a lot of tank fire. But NYK keeps rolling the Banelings into the tank fire. And they're getting cut down one by one. He's still going for the mute. Patrick, we saved the city! That's NYK's hold right there. He lost so much. Looking at the resources lost, 5,700 to 23, and these Muta are not going to help fight the Marine Ball at all. Here's a sim forward from the Terran. NYK needs very good Baneling hits, but he crashes them into the tanks instead. Both tanks survive, and there's just nothing to stop the Marines. Single G is called. Dolan! Oh, he GG. Good manner from NYK. Defeated with grace. Dolan evens the score 3-3. Score is 3-3. Pillars of Gold is the 8th map. Playing for Archangel. It's the Blue Terran Kelliger. Playing for Cosmos Esports. It's Eggs. Archangel started down and out. Kosmos opening with an early lead over the opposing team. Panda Bear Me started a turnaround though. And Archangel is on the come up. Momentum is in their favor. With 2 wins in a row already. This is a rematch. Kelliger opening with your standard barracks on the high ground. Should be a Reaper expand. These two are rematching, and I believe in game their first match, Kelliger went Mass Reaper against Eggs. And Eggs just kind of tapped out. He's like, I'm too far economically behind. Okay. Eggs. What is he doing? There's no link speed. Look at this. 120 gas, 124 gas, no link speed. What's going on? What is happening? He starts a queen in the main, queen in the natural. Still no link speed. He sneaks some links to delay the command center. That's nice, but still no link speed. Spore is forced. Second spore is forced. 184 gas now. What's going on? Marine finishes off the scouting link. 224 gas. Exit supply blocked. Cancel on the spore. Okay, there's a lair. But he didn't need to float this much gas to get a lair. I guess maybe he didn't want to get scouted? And a roach warren. Is this a Nidus play? It's gotta be a Nidus play. Queen's hunting for the Reaper. Kelliger is fully aware that Eggs doesn't have a third. He's going to do everything he can to continue scouting. Did he see the Warren yet? He did not. Eggs is, like, sacking the queens, basically. Well, I guess he's not, because Hellions didn't pursue the kill. Ooh, Eggs does drop a third. The lair is seconds away from finishing. Kelliger going into Cloak, which will be helpful against a Roach push, but not so much if it's Muta. One queen dies, second queen will die. She picks off a Hellion before meeting her demise. A Roach pops out. It's going to hold the front. Second Roach. Two more Roaches. And it's for Roach speed. Okay. Kelliger hasn't started a Banshee yet. Well, okay, he has one Banshee. He hasn't started the second Banshee. Cloak is about 75% done. The Reaper dies. Overlord pushed back. It's in the red. And Eggs just never did his push. I mean, Roach speed is here. This feels way too late for him to try and attack now. He kills two Hellions. That's nice. He's gonna have to contend with the Banshees. Yeah, he has Queen spread out, but there's no spores, there's no detection. He does have a lair. He's gonna have to morph in an Overseer, which he doesn't. He has one, but it's currently in the Terran Natural. Cloak on the Banshees, and there will be drone damage to Eggs. Holy crap. Kosmos player moves to intercept. The Overseer is finally present. He's trying to chase down the Banshees. The Banshees are out of... Well, one of the Banshees is out of cloak anyway. But they should both escape with 18 worker kills. Kelliger has a crazy lead. Eggs should be attacking since he knows where the Banshees are located, but now there's 3 tanks out for Kelliger. Kelliger is going to be able to secure his 3rd location. These roaches have like one chance. They can pick off this Marine, they can get in on the tanks. They have to go now. There's a chance. But Eggs is running out of time. Okay, the supply depot did not go up. The Marines are stranded on the low ground. Medevac saves the 2 tanks, brings them to the main. 2 Biles do connect with the forward tank. Okay, forward tank is finished off, but unfortunately, Eggs not able to hit both tanks at the same time. He's going to stutter step. He takes out the remaining tank, but there's a fresh one out of the factory. The Banshees return home. The roaches are going to get cleaned up. And I fear this is the end of Eggs in the end of Kosmos in the series. The game may continue. I mean, 14 SCVs go down. That's nice, but... Okay, is it over? Did I call it too soon? Eggs is going to continue the attack. He's still 7 workers down, and even on bases with the Terran. Eggs has an army supply lead. He's marching the Queens forward. Is Eggs gonna do it? Did I call this too soon? There's a lot of transfuse. Only 1 tank. The 3rd's gonna be pulled back. Eggs isn't droning whatsoever at home. He's producing more Queens. The Marines pull the roaches into the tank fire. The roaches decide not to engage. Transfuse dropped on one of the roaches. Ravagers are going to morph in. Kelliger going to take the other 3rd location. One of the Biles misses. The tank's going to survive. It's going to get off more shots. The Biles are going on the medevac clouds instead of the tank. Okay, the tank finally down, but there's a fresh one in the natural, and it's going to hold. The roaches have melted. Eggs doesn't get a good enough engagement. And there's too much Terran on the field. The Queens are picked off one by one. Only 1 Ravager left in the fight. Reinforcements are trickling forward for Eggs, but nowhere near enough to break the Terran. Kelliger drops a 3rd, drizzles down some mules. Eggs is now at an army supply disadvantage. He's gonna try. The tank is on siege, but he doesn't dive on it. He backs out. Banshees will pick off an unfortunate roach. Or will they? They will. Eggs has a small worker lead, but he does not have a 4th base, and that is very critical for him to have that for production as well as mining. Some of the drones were pulled off the line, I guess, for some reason or another. Some roaches are split off to enter the 3rd and get harass damage done. There are no units to defend. Tanks are out of position, but they can be pulled into position quite easily. Kelliger picks off 4 roaches essentially for free. Banshee's hitting the main. 3 drones, 4. Ooh. The Queen goes down. That's going to hurt injects. Drones pulled off the line in the natural as well. Eggs mining is just in tatters. Oh no, the Spore Crawler's trying to reposition, but it's going to leave the drones undefended for a couple seconds in the meantime. Drones are pulled off the line again. GG. Well played is called. Kelliger pulls the series back for Archangel Gaming North America, and he will take the Week 1 victory over Kosmos Esports.